So hello, this is another another time I show my mom a metal song and having her do a reaction to it. Um yeah, this time we'll be doing "Symbolic" by Death. I know I told you about it before. Remember that band who started off like following a lot of the lyrical themes and stuff in normal death metal bands, making the lyrics just kind of gross and stuff, and then they decided. And actually their logo. They had like this upside down cross instead of the T, and the guy decided, you know what, this is stupid, and then he changed the logo and made the upside down cross like a T with the bar in the middle instead, and took away like all the blood from the logo and stuff, and made the lyrics a lot better because he decided that he didn't want to make student music.
But he kept the same style.
Yeah, he had the same musical style overall. But do you remember telling me about them before?
So was he right about now ice cream?
No, you'll see what he writes about now, not ice. It's not about ice cream.
Just wondering.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's just start it now.
Here we go.
And before I'm gonna start saying like, oh, that's not much of a reaction. Like, we'll be talking about it more after the song's done.
I mean, if you want me to react, I can, but I'm going to be listening.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I don't want to fake it, so.
Okay. Sorry, I'm being silly. Okay.
Me?
I was being silly. Okay, we have to have some volume here.
I love this riff.
I need a fix called Innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can relate to the emotion. What's the timing on this?
I don't know. There was a lot of time changes and stuff. You're supposed to say we're invisible, not we're invisible.
Yeah, I realized that.
The lyrics
feels a little, yeah. This is older, isn't it?
Well, this is I think it's 95.
Makes sense. Well, it feels older than that, but that's probably because it's just mimicking an older style. Well, while we wait for them to get to the next lyrics, I was like, this seems disjointedly happy until they're like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now we're talking about the open wounds. Oh, more lyrics. Oh, yeah, that's what it says. That they're wanting to remember innocence as a way to soothe the open wounds in their soul or whatever. Now it fits with the music better.
Yeah.
Because you can't be just like, happy memories! Yeah! You know, write something peaceful for that. It's kind of big.
Well, it's in context of the rest of the song, you know.
Okay. So, I realize that tomorrow won't be as bad, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, when they're little. How old is this guy when he wrote this?
I don't remember. I think he was in his like late 30s or something.
Really? You look so...
Couldn't you write when you're like 50 or something?
Yeah, seems really young.
I think the character he's playing in the song is like a lot older than that or something. But... I can relate to it, and I'm only 15, so it's like...
Well, I know, and it feels kind of like a... But then again, he apparently went through a pretty dark time, and then he's now wanting to... back to that sense of innocence.
I feel like frantic this part in this, that's an intro frantic this Bruce feels.
Frantic?
This film will like feel kind of frantic, especially in context with the rest of the song.
Yeah. I would like some more detail into what the symbolic acts were. I don't think he went into that at any point. What symbolic acts?
That part is a little vague, but what most people agree on is that he's referring to how a lot of stuff that goes on with us during our childhood will reflect how we become when we're older. But they're invisible because when you're going through them as a child, you don't see them. You don't see often a lot of how important a lot of it is, and then you grow up and you look back at it, and then you realize just how important a lot of it was.
Well, I think lyrically it could have been a little fuller. It was a little watery. I mean, it was vague, like we're just saying. So, symbolic acts of like, so I see what you're saying. So obviously you've had a chance to meditate on the lyrics a little bit and think about what they're saying, and that makes sense. That it fits. I feel like. I still feel like the lyrics and the intensity of the song don't match. The song itself has like remnants of stuff I remember listening to a long time ago. I mean, I primarily did the punk thing, but I mean, sometimes I had friends who listened to other stuff, and it has elements of it that just remind me of something from way, way back. But the thing that kind of hit me the most was just that feeling of kind of like wanting innocence to... like a restoration of innocence. I remember when I was 19, as I was getting to that place where I was, right before I became a Christian, that I felt like everything in my life had just become like this rotten place. Like it just, there was nothing good anywhere. And after I finally came to Christ and I understood what it meant to have my sins forgiven, like I felt that restoration of like, wow, like innocence. Innocence is good. I like innocence. It feels nice to do something that's innocent. This isn't twisted. It's not sick. There's no, and I was really into things that were like demented. And then I'm like, no, I don't want them anymore. I want something innocent. Yeah. Which was a good thing since I was eventually going to have kids.
Personally, I think the reason that I think the music sound does fit the lyrics is because it adds like a sense of desperation to it, and when it comes down to it, like while you can do things that are more innocent and you can do things that are more happy, you obviously like you're never gonna get back that like true like childhood innocence,
Yeah. See, if they could have stress that a little bit more in the lyrics. Like that's what he's saying. Like it's not as clear that what he's saying is I want to get that innocence back. I miss that time of childhood. I mean, I get a sense of that, but it's not strong enough. But I'm glad that you were able. Did you read up and find out what they meant by the song, or did you just put the pieces together yourself?
That's something I was able to figure out pretty much immediately. Like, like maybe some lines such as what the symbolic acts meant. That's something I had to look up. But when it comes to just being about wanting to get back that childhood innocence, I was able to figure that out pretty fast.
What did they say about the symbolic acts?
What do you mean?
You said you looked up what symbolic acts meant. What did they say?
I mentioned that earlier. That was referring to how some of the stuff that goes on when you're a child with you.
Oh, that's what they said.
I don't know if the band itself can. I don't think the band itself confirmed that, but I understand that's like the interpretation that most people have. Like that people agree on the most about that line is that it's referring to like how some of your like people in childhoods can symbolize their adulthood without them realizing it, but it's
because symbolism, like in the picture of the album, it looks like there's symbolism. There's like these snakes and hands like holding up the thing, and there's an eye looking above. And
people have said it's meant to. Some people think it's meant to symbolize like the Garden of Eden, because it has the two people in the hands and this eye above, and then the snakes in the ground.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I guess that could be the Garden of Eden. I hadn't thought about what the symbolism was, but I mean, overall, I mean, it's not necessarily a song that I'd be like, hey, let's put this thing on. I want to listen to it. It wasn't I wasn't uncomfortable. I mean, I used to be more uncomfortable with this kind of music, but now I'm just like, I'm not. I mean, it sounds younger than 30. If he's in his 30s, he sounds younger. Just lyrically, musically, all of it sounds younger. I don't feel like it's like it's okay. It's just not like great. If that makes sense.
I remember once when I was playing the second riff, the I was playing that on guitar in the room once. You said that was a pretty cool sounding riff, and you thought I'd written it, and then I told you, oh no, I didn't write this.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got some solid parts to it. It's just I didn't hear any weak parts in it. I mean, the whole thing was there, even when it got really disjointed. But it was like purposeful. It sounded intentional. The timing when it was like there was almost predictability to it because it fit. Yeah. So it still worked.
That's because this is like prog death, and that's what well done progressive metal will do. It'll often well done progressive metal will usually be pretty disjointed, but it'll still like fit when it comes down to it.
There weren't any surprises in the song, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily make it a good thing. Because sometimes if you have a good surprise, then that actually makes for a good song. But so it was safe. I mean, believe it or not, the song was like done in a way that was safe. Like even though it was like all over the place, it still didn't. I still don't feel like it took a lot of
experimented.
It didn't feel experimental. It felt like it was something already established.
Yeah.
So.
What did you think of the vocals?
I was impressed that the guy could scream like that without hurting himself.
Yeah.
Because he does sound. That's the thing is he does sound very young. He sounds but he's very gurgly. Like there's the whole Death Girl thing, but this guy's voice actually sounded like there was like going on. And if he didn't hurt himself doing that, that's cool.
Because what he does, especially on his later stuff, is kind of less of a death growl and almost more like a death shriek,
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is the second to last album, and on the last album especially, you can like his vocals like get a little higher pitched. So and I think they sound really cool, but they definitely fit like death screech.
Well, if his other vocals get higher pitched, then he's gonna start sounding like 80s hair metal.
Yeah.
You're not in the picture.
Just much 80s hair metal, much gruffer.
Okay.
Because 80s hair metal isn't usually like
Oh, okay. So higher pitch, but not.
Yeah.
Okay, that was bad.
It still keeps the overall style.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah.
Here's my reaction. Yeah. He doesn't surprise me anymore.
What?
He throws me these music. Well, I used to
Yeah.
I listen to my punk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with metal now. It's like
Yeah.
you've cured me of my metal aversion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a reformed.
I think that's what I was
person.
doing. What I do next time is what I didn't do next time. If I want to impress you, is just find some like find some song with experimental edge to it, and then.
That sounds kind of fun,
Mm-hmm.
actually. I might either like it, I might love it, or I might,
But the thing with experimental enough, chances are even if you don't actually like it, you're gonna have like a level of respect for it because it took.
I
experiment.
respect the people taking the chance and
Mm-hmm.
trying something different, and even if it completely flops, the fact that they tried it is impressive to me. Even if you're just like, okay, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's actually not that much taller than me. It's just the way we're sitting.
You sure about that? No,
Little old lady here.
so I was want to add that, like, in my opinion, I think this is probably one of my favorite songs because for me, like, I think partly because like because of how I was like when I was 8 I got depression and that so I kind of like I lost some of my innocence a lot sooner than most people do, so I had a lot less time with it than most people did. So it's that sense of like childhood innocence is something that I never got to like fully familiar. Like most people can just keep it for like 10 11 years, something like that. I got to keep it for about 8. um and and so I can really I relate to the themes a lot of looking back and wishing that I could still have that type of innocence, even though I don't have it anymore. And I do think that the intensity of the and like desperation in the sound fits a lot, and especially that second riff. I love that second riff, and like second riff mixed with the very intense vocals and all that, and then because the lyrics aren't like I feel like there was definitely like I feel like a sense of poetry to them. Did you kind of get that?
Yes, and you know what? I feel like this is a bad mom moment. Of course,
Why?
I should have paid attention to how you were experiencing this song. How did I miss that? Yeah, I know. Like, duh. That totally, I can see why this song speaks to you because you went through that time. By the way, I didn't know he was depressed. He didn't tell us for a long time. I knew something was up, but I couldn't pinpoint it. And to all of you out there, what got him out of the depression? Well, obviously lots of prayer, but he started talking to people. He started opening up and finding out that he wasn't alone. He didn't want to hurt us by telling us. Well, I'm glad he
And to
started
any
talking to
parents
us.
out there, if your kids saying they're depressed and you're thinking like, oh, they can't be depressed, they're 8 years old. There's a good chance they're actually telling the truth.
Yeah, and then he has a great dad. He's got a good safe home. I mean, sometimes that can be a little snarky, but like we eat mostly healthy food, so it's just life. Life slapped him around a little bit, and he lost his innocence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I should
just
have been
think.
paying attention to how those lyrics affected you. So I kind of missed that. Duh.
Well, I think it's fine that you got to have it at first with your just unbiased opinion and just how it sounded to you,
Now
and
I see
then I came
why.
out
I'm
afterward.
like,
And
now I get why this song
that's
it
a lot
hits
of
you
part of
like
why
it
it hits me
does.
the way
Now
it does
my
because
respect for the song is actually up because of your connection to it. So
makes sense. Well, that's our video. I'll probably make another one eventually
whenever.
because this one took forever to actually get to. But yeah, I plan on making another one eventually, and maybe I'll do something, or maybe something with a little more experimental edge to it, and see what Mom thinks about that. Yeah.
You guys got any suggestions?
Yeah, you can leave some in the comments. Bye.